But then it's Cody and Solo. And Paul says, I told the Tongans, they took care of business. And then he reveals Roman Reigns had agreed that CM Punk was hands off because of he's personal to me. And Cody is not supposed to be handled by you. He's supposed to be kept in check until Roman Reigns gets back. And Solo stops him and says, I hate to tell you this, wise man, but Roman's not coming back. And then he turns and starts walking to the ring, and Paul's like, how can this be? How can this be? So at that point, now we don't know what the fuck's going on. And then the match starts with 8 minutes left on the air. So I'm thinking, what the fuck? They open hot. Solo, by the way, is doing those phony looking open-handed slap punches like the Usos do, and it drives me crazy. And after about a minute on the floor bouncing around, they go back in the ring, and the Tongans hit for the disqualification and start jumping on Cody. And Orton's music plays. And here comes Orton and Owens. And they hit the ring, kind of have a lackluster six-way. And they dump the Tongans. And then Solo is in the corner with the three faces, and he begs off, and he's starting, please, please. And then he laughs, and he laughs louder. And then suddenly in the ring from behind is Jacob Fatu under that name. The Samoan werewolf. Ow! Werewolves of Samoa. Ow! And now you see...
That didn't sound like a wolf, that second one. That sounded like a little dog.
But now you see how to get over. He throws the super kicks. He clotheslines Owens. Owens takes a hell of a bump. He throws him out to the floor. He Samoan drops Owens on the stairs. Then he runs around the ring and spears Orton through the fucking barricade. Then he grabs Cody and gives him a rock bottom on the apron and then clears off the desk and puts him on the desk, goes to the top rope and dives from the top rope to the announce desk with a splash and demolishes the whole goddamn thing. And then he's wiped out the top three baby faces. And then they all get in the ring and the bloodline and put up the one finger. Now you got two Tongans, you got Solo, and you got Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. And he's lost weight. He looks in great shape. From 5 years ago at MLW, I bet he's lost 40 pounds because he was wide and thick and still doing that stuff. But for longevity of his career and his health, the shit that he does, he needed to lose a little weight. But he plays big. He's not, I don't know how tall those other guys are, but I've stood next to Jacob. He's my height or maybe an inch or two shorter. But he plays big in the ring. He looks big. He takes up his space, and the facials. This guy looks out of control. He's got the weird fucking multicolored hair. He's got the scraggly facial hair. Remember, I've been talking about Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, but fine, great. They look too clean. They look too normal. You can believe that they got this guy out of either a jail or a nut house. And he hasn't even done his best stuff yet. And I know somebody's going, oh, Cornette for a fucking guy who hates just moves. Now you're talking about the guy's moves. Yes, I'm talking about a goddamn personality that can come in and get over like a fucking maniac that can do jaw-dropping shit while he's doing it. That's the key. He doesn't look like a goddamn 16-year-old nebbish from science class. He looks like somebody that will eat your fucking pet dog. So, I mean, again, he looks great, but still not too clean. He's crazy. And you saw Paul in the background covering his eyes, and he's scared of these people. And now I'm just thinking, you got Solo, you got two Tongans, and a Jacob Fatu. Well, you got a couple of Usos wherever Jimmy is. You've got Roman Reigns, and they just signed Hickalula?
Hickaleo. They signed Hickaleo. They trademarked the name Talatanga, I believe. I saw something else that said they trademarked, I think, Caesar Sikoa. Right before I saw Jacob Fatu debut, so I was like, oh no, don't change his name to that. We'll see. I mean, the other interesting thing is, and it may make it, I don't know. If you needed a fourth person, if you're just going based on that, Solo, Jacob Fatu, the Tongans, Roman Reigns, a reunited Usos. Remember, Sami Zayn was a big part of that story for a long time.
Well, I'm not denying that, and I would imagine Sami Zayn would probably be a bigger star, more over than a new guy they're bringing in fresh. But it has to be all bloodline, doesn't it? Doesn't it have to be the inner struggle for power in the?
He was an honorary Us for the record, but
oh god damn it!
I get your point.
He's not just white; he's translucent. Still, it's it doesn't look the same.
I said honorary. I didn't say.
Well, he can be honorable all he wants to be. But anyway, so we got the werewolf.
You got him. He looked like $1 million. They made him. They put him over big time on commentary as it was happening. By name. Oh my God. Look at what he's doing. And the Tongans, the moment at the end where they walked up and Solo and Jacob are at the front and they all do the one finger, the Tongans almost looked like worried or.
Yes, they were looking at him sideways like, oh shit, this fucking guy showed up now. We might be in trouble.
And if they really wanted to, build it up, just make it real. This guy has a record. This guy's dangerous. WWE was scared to go near him. What is he doing here?
That sounds familiar. Didn't I say that a couple months ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then the question now becomes Roman. What happens with Roman? How many more people are going to get introduced into this? And when does Roman return? What is Roman doing? We haven't heard anything about it. Is he making a movie? Is he sick? I don't know where he is.
Well, no, he got on his plane after WrestleMania and he flew somewhere. And apparently he's going to be there until he decides to come back.
With no phones or TVs or anything, any form of
apparently. And that's the thing. You can get away with having no TV, but no phone.
Yeah, especially to Heyman. Poor Heyman. He's like waiting by the phone. He's got a good plan. Call Roman Reigns. No answer.
How much do you think Paul Heyman pays for that fancy Dan voice-activated telephone service and plan he's got there?
Oh, I'm fairly certain no matter what it costs, he turns in a receipt.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure he turns in a receipt even if it didn't cost anything, but that's the Paul Heyman way. However, I bet you he's overpaying because I bet you that while he's been living on the island of relevancy and trying to deal with all of these warring Samoan factions, he hadn't been keeping up on the fact that you don't have to pay a fortune anymore for a good telephone plan. Now, for example, if Paulie was with Mint Mobile right now, then when all that happened, he could have got on that telephone and he could have said, call Roman Reigns because the Samoan werewolf is in town, and boom, because Mint Mobile gives you a high-speed data and unlimited talk and text plan for only $15 a month when you get the 3 months. Well, immediately Roman would have known he could have flown back here, straightened this whole thing out. But now we've got to wait through SummerSlam and maybe Survivor Series, maybe even Royal Rumble, all the way to next year's WrestleMania to see how this is going to work out just because Paulie is ignorant that you can get an unlimited plan for $45 for 3 months from mintmobile.com.
Well, for the record, we don't know how ignorant he is about his phone plan. We don't know what his phone plan is, so we can't really overly speculate. He may already be taking advantage of such great
If he had unlimited stuff, he'd be able to talk to Roman. That's the problem. They keep cutting. He's on that phone all the time. He's draining his battery. He's using up his plan minutes. It's not unlimited. You can tell. I'm telling you, Mint Mobile could be the answer to Paul Heyman's. But what kind of wise man would not be making themselves go now to get the Mint Mobile plan, 3 months, $15 a month, $45 in total for a quarter of the year with all of these premium wireless service. Bring your own phone number. You can bring your own phone. Hell, bring your own bottle. You can do all of those things with Mint Mobile. They don't care.
They don't care. You don't need to bring it anywhere. You can just stay home and do all these things.
Stay home and drink, folks.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that either. Don't misrepresent
and a lot
what
during
I'm
the
saying.
day. Get started early in the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, responsibly when you're in a responsible zone and mood. But let's get back to Mint Mobile.
Well, because if you start drinking early in the day, then by the evening time, you can use your unlimited text and data plan to start sending risque pictures to everybody in your phone list.
What are you drinking that would cause you to be that crazy?
Well, Thunderbird.
Oh.
There you go. Mintmobile.com/JCE is the code you need to use. And you will get a 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month. Of course, that's $45 for the 3 months. That's simple math, and that's the way it works out. So you can cut your wireless bill now at mintmobile.com/JCE. The $45 upfront payment is required because we don't trust any of you assholes. New customers on the first 3-month plan only. You can't heel back in after you try to just get this special deal constantly. We're on to your game. Speed slower above 40 GB on the unlimited plan, but additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply, but you can see Mint Mobile for all the details. They'll give you the scoop. They'll tell you what you need to know, and then you just give them your money and start sending pictures of your genitals to everybody in town.
Don't do that, and this is no guarantee that you would, and of course you wouldn't, under normal conditions, and don't
if you could
with Mint Mobile.
But you will if you do, but you can't, so you won't.
And you won't, so once again, you won't, but here's that promo code for those who want to just get a wonderful phone plan.
Who want to and will. Mintmobile.com/JCE.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Yes.